How to start your own eBay store as a beginner in 2025. From sourcing to listing to shipping and getting your first paycheck from eBay, I'm going to show you how it's done step by step. Let's get right into it. The first thing you want to do is create an eBay account so then you can start selling on eBay. Next is the fun part, going to local thrift stores, garage sales, or even Facebook Marketplace, trying to find stuff to sell on eBay. But before you can even sell it, you need to know the true value. To research items like this, I will use the Google Lens app. That's mostly the only app I use besides eBay's picture, which is not as accurate as the Google picture. So I'm gonna take a picture right now, and it will show you the results of how much the item is worth on different platforms, but you just want to look for the ones on eBay. And the first one that comes up is a Starbucks 2006 Colorado Centennial mug, and you want to click that and click the eBay listing right here, and it should take you right to the eBay app, and you can see the true value of the item. But this is just a listing. This is not a sold listing, so this could be $500, and that doesn't mean it's going to sell for $500, but they just have it listed for $500. So what you're going to want to do now is remember the title of the item that is listed, and it is a Starbucks 2006 Colorado Centennial Steak Coffee Mug. So I'm just going to put in the search bar of eBay, Starbucks Colorado mug. I think that should bring it up. And it does. So now you can see listings, and I see one for $12.95, $14, $13.99, and now the most important part of researching an item is you're going to want to click the filter button in the top left hand corner like that, and you're going to want to click the sold items and completed items. That is all that matters for when you're listing, because if it's listed for $500, it doesn't mean it's going to sell for $500, as I said before. So now you're going to want to click the sold listings, and you should see one, and there is one right there. It's sold for $17.99, free delivery. So I'm probably going to list this for $9.99 to sell it fast. That is one of the best techniques on eBay, is undercutting everybody else's price, so then you're the best listing on eBay, and that always makes it easier to sell. And now comes probably the hardest part about eBay, and that is listing the item on eBay. So now that you have the true value of the item, you're going to want to open your eBay app and get ready to list your first item. So one of the main things I don't think people understand while you're listing is that you only need a phone to list, at least a good phone, not one that's going to glitch out or not work at all. But that is basically all you need to list. One of the other things I recommend is buying a little like white sheet that you can use for a background of your eBay listings. It actually makes it a lot easier and makes it look a lot more professional when your eBay items pop up on the search results. So this only costs like 98 cents or something, so you're not even really spending anything at all. And what you're gonna wanna do now is just make a little thing in the back. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually just grab something that is like this, like laundry detergent, and you can just put it like that. And you can also put something in the front, like in the corner, so it doesn't move. So I'll just grab like this right here, and you can put one in the other corner like that. And now you have your own eBay setup for an item. So let me grab the mug. So now that you have your little backdrop, you're gonna wanna take your item, make sure it's all clean and in amazing condition. Sometimes items won't be in the best conditions when you list them, but you make sure to put that in the description of the items. The buyer knows always what they're buying. So here's the item right here. And what you can do is just set it just like that. I have lights in the back. You don't need lights, but I always like the lights. It makes it look a lot more natural and just more first class. Okay, so now you have your item, you have your backdrop, and you're all ready to list your first item. So go into the eBay app. So you're still gonna look at the same sold listing that you had, click the sold listing, and it should show something like this. And you wanna click sell one like this. And it will bring you to a listing interface, which will help you a bunch in the listing of your item. So now you're going to want to take some photos of the item, just like that. And I like to take a picture of all 4 sides so the buyer knows exactly what they are getting in the mail and they are not surprised when they have the item show up at their door. So we have a picture of all 4 sides of the mug. So now once you're done taking all the photos, so then the buyer can see the exact condition of the item. Now you have all the pictures loaded up and they uploaded to the eBay app. You're gonna wanna focus on the title next. So now you have to work on the title. This is really important here. You wanna describe it perfectly and as accurate as possible. So it is a Starbucks Colorado mug, 2007 Centennial State 18-ounce Blue Mountain coffee cup. That sounds like a great title to me. I'm just gonna use their exact title. And now what I will do is copy the whole title. We'll use that for later. And we need to select the condition. So this condition is not new, so we'll just click used, and there we go. Next, you have the item specifics. You can go through here and just make sure that it is correct. And there's a bunch of them that you can do. You could spend a long time on the item specifics, but I don't focus a lot on that. I just try to focus on the keywords and the price. The description, you're going to want to paste the title from your listing in the description, and I go down and I just put the condition in overall great condition. And if there's like any cracks, which there isn't on this one, I would include that in the description also, so the buyer does not get mad when he gets the item. Now for the pricing, we said before we were gonna list it for $9.99, so let's get that like that. I always like to do $9.99. I think it's still a great strategy to this day. Some people can do $10 or whatever, but I still think I like the 99 cents or 98 cents strategy. And for the shipping, this is where it can get confusing also. If you're just starting out, you most likely did not go to Uline and spend $500 on boxes. So what you're gonna wanna do, maybe you just have a box lying around the house. That'll work perfect. And for this box, I actually already have a bunch of boxes. And this, I'm just gonna be using an 8x8. And next, you're going to want to weigh the item. So I got a scale right here that I use, and we'll just weigh it really quick. Make sure it's reset because you want the most accurate weight as possible. And it weighs 1 pound exact. So you always want to round it up because the box weighs about 3 to 4 ounces depending on what size you have. So I'm just gonna put the weight for this item. Of the item, I'm just gonna choose 1 pound and 10 ounces because I have to bubble wrap this and you include packing paper with the coffee mug so it gets protected while shipping. And since I'm just using an 8x8x8 box, I'm just gonna use that too. And after you get the package details, you're going to want to pick your shipping service of choice. I always use USPS Ground Advantage for items that are really small and don't weigh very much. But anything above 10 to maybe even 12 pounds, I'm probably just gonna ship with UPS to save money for the buyer and for me, which is really good. And the shipping cost, you can actually use 3 different options. As you can see, there is offer free shipping, buyer pays calculated shipping, and offer a flat rate. I use calculated shipping. It totally depends on your preference. People use free shipping. I use calculated because it's easier for me. And flat rate, which is just you make the price no matter what the shipping is. So if the shipping costs you $7, you can charge $20 or so on. And after that, that is basically it for listing your first item on eBay. And you click list your item. And your item should be listed within the first 24 hours. It depends on how long your eBay store has been open. Since mine has been open for a while, I think it takes only about like 10 minutes for the item to get listed. But I think when I first started, my first item took 18 hours to get listed. And I sold it, I think, within 3 days, which got me hooked instantly. Okay, your item just sold. So now what do you do next? Grab your box, grab your packaging supplies and tape, and let's get this thing shipped. One thing I want to say about shipping on eBay is that you're going to need a printer so you can print the label out and you're also going to need a computer or phone for that. Obviously, if you can list the item, you probably can ship it, but you need a printer so you can print the label on eBay. It's actually pretty easy. They make it really simple. So after that, you're going to want to ship it like this. Grab your tape. I like to do it twice on heavier items, so it's even more protected. So that's how it should look right there. And I'm gonna bubble wrap this. Got some bubble wrap right here. I like to take about 2 squares. It makes it the easiest. Like that. And you just roll it up like this. After that, I will grab a fragile sticker and I'll just put that right on to here. You can just use regular tape if you want. And then in the coffee mug, I just tuck it right in like that and just like that. Another thing I recommend buying is some packing paper. If you are shipping like hard goods, if you're shipping clothing, you don't need it at all. You can just use a poly mailer, which is the easiest. And 2 of these will do. And you're gonna wanna set the item inside like that. After that, you're going to surround the coffee mug or whatever you're shipping in a box. Just make sure that the item is perfectly shipped. I like to do 2 inches on each side of an item. So this coffee mug I think is about 6 inches. So that makes an 8x8 box the perfect choice. And as you can see, it's perfectly secured in there. We got a couple inches of space, which we're gonna fill up with packing paper. Just like that. And another thing, which I've never seen anybody do, but I do it almost every time I ship something that is fragile or is in a box, is I'll fold up all the corners before taping it. And I like to just give it a little shake. And if you can't hear the item or know what the item is inside, you did a great job packaging. Like, I'll just hold it close to the mic right here, but you cannot hear nothing. There's nothing moving around, and that is the perfect job inside. Just like that, and it is ready to go out to USPS, UPS, or FedEx, or wherever you shipped it with. And I like to put a fragile sticker on one side like that, and it is ready to go. Once you get the label ready, you're gonna wanna stick it on the top if you have a label maker, which that's what I have. But if you just have a piece of paper and you cut it out with scissors, you can just use regular clear tape and go right over the top of the label, and just make sure that the label is not like crunched up or anything like that, because it can cause items to get lost in the mail because they aren't able to scan the barcode or something along those lines. And yeah, that is how you ship an item from eBay. Once you learn all those steps, you should be able to list an item on eBay and sell it pretty quick. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I will try to answer every single one. And if you're new here, I'm gonna try to do some more tutorials for you guys so I can help you on your eBay journey. I'm not a pro by any means. This is my 3rd year of eBay, but I have sold 1.6 thousand items on eBay. And if you're new here, I'm gonna try to do some more tutorials so I can help you guys on your eBay journey and me, because I am still learning. And I wanted to put this video out so I can help you guys start your first eBay business. Make sure to like and subscribe. It helps YouTube put out my video to people that are looking for it. And make sure to turn on the notifications bell so you can get notified when I post another video. And for now, happy sales and bargain buyer out.